Hi, my name is Benjamin Katz, and welcome back to another episode of the 48 City Ice Cream Review, where today I'm in Oak Hill, West Virginia at the Frozen Barn, trying the two flavors, Peanut Buddy Oat Cream and Carrot Cake. Now, I'm going to get started with the Peanut Buddy Oat Cream, and I'm only going to say peanut butter ice cream from now on, because this is a peanut butter oat-based ice cream, so non-dairy. I've really been spoiled by Ben & Jerry's oat milk ice creams, because they get the texture just right. I often find that with new ice cream places, their oat-based ice creams can be a bit icy, or a bit strange on the tongue and on the palate. This actually tastes quite good. The peanut butter is coming through, the oats, there are actually small bits of oats here, I would guess crushed oats within the mix. And the little bits of chocolate really do add a nice texture. But it's just a bit icy. Distractingly so. So while the flavor is delicious and exactly as advertised, I will have to take a point or two off for texture. But I will applaud the peanut butter flavor for doing something not a lot of flavors that include chocolate do, which is they've essentially minced the chocolate. These are tiny little bits of chocolate interspersed throughout the ice cream with a fairly even distribution that allow me to taste the chocolate flavor without getting any big crunches or interruptions to my ice cream experience. The chocolate bits are so small that it really is adding to the texture as opposed to creating its own texture with the chocolate. Okay, moving on to the carrot cake. Wow, that is spot on. There are these little chunks of, I think, carrot cake batter that are providing this beautiful texture where, and the ice cream itself is really smooth. I'm getting a little bit of crunchiness from the cinnamon sugar spread throughout, and it really has the texture of a cream cheese frosting. It's coming through. The cream cheese frosting texture and flavor is coming through to complement the carrot cake beautifully. Now, one of the downsides of this style of flavor is that it is somewhat indistinguishable from any kind of pumpkin pie flavor, because the cinnamon does overpower for the most part. The mix-ins do contribute to the overall flavor and texture, but whenever you're putting cinnamon in a flavor, it's always going to just taste like a pie that has cinnamon in it, with some of the more subtle notes being overpowered by the strongest cinnamon flavor possible. Now, I'm very curious to try the combination of these two flavors, because I had something similar happen at Trails End Ice Cream, wherein I had a pumpkin flavor and a different kind of flavor. That the different flavor had a bit of iciness to it. But the pumpkin flavor had these sort of sugar bits throughout and added a bit of crunchiness. So the two flavors' textures kind of canceled out and added to each other in a bit of a additive disruption sort of thing. So I'm hoping this does the same with the peanut butter complementing the carrot quite well, in theory. So sadly, this wasn't my favorite. The combination kind of felt confused, with the carrot cake elements being drowned out by the strength of the peanut butter, and the carrot cake chunks just being a bit too chewy with the peanut butter ice cream. I will continue this bowl separately, because I do thoroughly enjoy both flavors, but I don't think combining them is necessarily the best choice. If you'll allow me, I would love to take some time to go on a quick rant, because this ice cream shop is advertising itself as hand-scooped ice cream. Now, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you advertise yourself as a hand-scooped ice cream place? I looked it up, and the origins actually come from the fact that there is, machine-based soft-serve ice cream and hand-scooped hard-serve ice cream. But at this point, why would you call yourself hand-scooped? Is it because of tradition and history? Well, not in this case, and not in this restaurant's case, because they're actually taking ice cream from a Michigan-based supplier who has been making ice cream for 40 years now. And while the Frozen Barn has its own identity and character, they're also not serving soft-serve ice cream. So all they really have to say is hard-serve ice cream, and that's all they need to do. Maybe it can be confused with pint-served ice cream, but if you're going to an ice cream shop, really the only thing you're thinking about is whether or not you're going to get a scoop of ice cream, not whether it's a pint or a scoop. I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess it doesn't need to make sense to me. I'm just eating this ice cream and enjoying it. But every time that I look up homemade ice cream, hand scooped also somehow gets into the mix. And I'm not really looking for hand scooped, I'm looking for homemade, whether it be soft serve or hard serve. That's really my main focus on this trip, is getting those homemade ice creams. Thank you for indulging my rant. I'm ready for my closing thoughts now. The Frozen Barn offers a wide variety of flavors, both vegan and dairy-based. And the flavors they offered were unique, were interesting, were sort of trendy in a sense. But they were getting their ice cream from a Michigan-based supplier. It's not homemade necessarily, but it is still small batch adjacent. So I will give them credit for that. Additionally, West Virginia is, I've seen, very underserved in terms of their ice cream. There aren't that many shops open, and when they are open, they're far and few between. It was actually very difficult for me to find this ice cream shop, actually driving an hour out of my way, more or less, to come here. And I'm glad I did, because this is a wonderful scoop of ice cream that I'm getting. It was about $6 after tax, which pretty good. Especially with how little ice cream there is, I'm pretty sure they could charge more and they would get away with it. But ultimately, I'm happy with the Frozen Barn. They're in close proximity to the New River Gorge, so anyone going to the national park can stop here afterwards to get some ice cream. And there's a fun atmosphere with indoor seating for the winter time. I would say if you're in West Virginia and you're stopping by New River Gorge, stop by here afterwards, because it's a lovely place to sort of relax and eat some good, nice ice cream after a good hike. If you like this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing, or go to findfiltermarketing.com for more on the journey. Thank you.